going on, everybody? We are DFW Sports Nerds. I'm Lance Sanders. This is my co-host, Derek Finnan.
Good evening.
What's happening with everybody out there? Hope you're having a good week. This show, if you don't know already, is a DFW-based sports show about DFW teams. We cover the Stars, the Mavericks, the Cowboys, and the Texas Rangers, baby. That's who we're really stoked about this week. I'm really happy to be here and enjoy a few minutes of music, and we'll be right back at you. We're back to you with DFW Sports Nerds. This is Derek Finnan. I'm Lance Sanders. Usually in segment one we go over the Cowboys, and we're going to do the same this week. That being said, let's bust into the game. Derek, I'll turn you loose for a minute.
The Cowboys, they were doing their thing. They were managed. Whedon was managing the team properly in that first half. They came out. They had sparks. Randall, his first three carries went for 87 yards. Should have stuck with it. The second half, it was the tale of two cities. It was two different games altogether. They had the game managed in the first half, and then it just fell apart. They did not manage the game in the second half properly.
Do you think that Jason Garrett is a poor decision maker at halftime and doesn't adjust enough? Because I've seen a lot of games, especially when we have a star player out, that we've come back at halftime and just got our asses kicked. I mean, just got our asses kicked like we did last week. And I'm wondering if you think, I personally think he doesn't know how to make good adjustments during halftime. What do you think? That being said, Tony Romo has more fourth quarter comebacks than any quarterback in the league right now over the last 5 years. So, that being said, there's a double-edged sword. What do you think, man?
I'm thinking it's just proper gameplay, and that Garrett, he has had success in the fourth quarter with Romo, but it's just different altogether. When Romo is out, this is a different functioning offense. With a player like Terrence Williams not getting the ball at all in that game, that made the difference in the second half.
He was thrown
Twice and not connecting, and that's their biggest playmaker. I mean, until someone else steps up. Cole Beasley's going to get his catches. Lance Dunbar got 100 yards of receiving. He's going to get his. But until they step up, and it's Dez not there right now. It's Terrence Williams. He's the number two. He is the man right now. They need to adjust. They need to get those intermediate routes, those slants going with him, and get him used to getting him the ball, get him the catches that he needs per game, and this offense can succeed without his two biggest stars being there.
You know what I think Whedon needs to do? I think he needs to watch the last 4 seasons of the New England Patriots and what Tom Brady does there. I think it's pretty amazing what he's been able to accomplish by throwing 5-yard outs over and over and over again.
But also, that's just ball movement, and that's just keeping the ball going and just eating up the clock, because that's what a Dallas offense does. In the Jimmy Johnson days with the offensive line and the Mark Tuinés, the Nate Newtons, the Stepnoskis, the Novaceks, they move the ball. That Emmett got the ball twice. He throws once. The next 3 plays, he throws twice. He runs once. But those small little slants to the tight end, Whedon's still one of the greatest. Keep the ball moving, eat up clock, but the defense has to step up also.
I hate the Patriots, but that's how he should be playing right now. He should be playing with those 5-yard outs and the slants and everything that they're known for. Let's get into the defense. It was horrible in the second half. It wasn't too good in the first either. What do you think, man?
Claiborne toast. I think burnt toast. I mean, I'm thinking blackened toast, but it is what it is. It's ride or die. But, man, it just Julio Jones was the sun, and he had no sunscreen because his ass was burnt.
Yeah, Julio Jones was amazing. We know he's one of the top 5 receivers in the league. We shouldn't be surprised about that. But I will have to say, they just went nuts on the ground against us in the second half. You're missing McLean. You're missing Mincy. We don't have Greg Hardy available yet.
Freeman had a field day. He had 140 yards, I believe.
Yeah, he had a field day. He definitely did. But, next game up on our schedule is the Saints. And, we'll talk more about that in our third segment. But, I don't see anything happening with these guys. I don't know where the fuck this draft pick that we had went. What was it, Byron Jones?
Something like that. Some cornerback from an East Coast.
I'm sorry, I don't know my draft, but maybe I forgot because I haven't heard the fucking dude's name all year. Anyway, what happened to him? Escobar is horrible right now. I looked at some stats. He was thrown 4 times last week, connected once. He dropped 2 that I know of that were right in his breadbasket. Why did we put McFadden in? I don't understand. Randall's healthy. He just nashed him for 60 yards in two different series. But why did they put McFadden out there?
It was poor, misplaced clock management in that second half. It didn't do the core and knowing what you got available is different than what you want to achieve. It's the difference between cooking an 8-course meal compared to just throwing something in a skillet. They were not cooking. They were not using the ingredients they have there. And It was poor clock management. I say that's on the coaching part. I say that's on Wheaton part because, like I said, dating back when Wheaton was in Cleveland, he is now 0-9 in his last starts. So that's just they need to manage the ball a whole lot more better if they want to compete and stay relevant and stay in the hunt.
So the magic win number for Wheaton is 0 out of 9, folks. He has not won in 9 tries. Why we think this guy's going to get us anywhere, I don't know. As I said last week, I prayed that he goes 5-3. I no longer see that. There's no fucking way that's going to happen. I see more of a 3 wins, maybe 4 tops out of him. We're not going to get 5 wins with him. There's no fucking way. We've got a really tough schedule ahead of us. We have the Patriots. We have the Seahawks. We have the Panthers, who are a wild card. I mean, you never know what you're going to get out of Cam Newton. We got the Packers at the end of the season, close to the end of the season. And the only chance we've got is these last 3 games here against the Jets, the Bills, and the Redskins. That's how I see us getting into the playoffs, is if we can manage to go 500 without Tony, which is 4-4, we'll still be 6-4 with the 2 wins that he already gave us. And we still have 6 games left. So I think we still have a chance to make the playoffs. I just think this is going to be brutal football to watch for the next few weeks.
I concur wholeheartedly. I mean, what was presented for us this past week, it has to change. They have to make the key adjustments. And if that has not been done, it's going to be the same kind of football that was played here at Jerry World just this past Sunday. And it's going to be the same results. But if they don't go out and work out those kinks and work together with what they got, it's not going to be a happy ride.
Oh, no. It sure as hell isn't. Well, anyways, this is Derek Finnan. I'm Lance Sanders. Check out some music. We'll be right back.
Amazing
right, we're back. This is DFW Sports Nerds. For Derek Finnan, I'm Lance Sanders. This is our Rangers segment for the week. We're gonna get into the last 4 or 5 games since we were here with you last week. We've gone for a little bit of a skid, man. I mean, we've gone 3. No, it's 4 and 3. So 4 and 3 isn't really good for us. I think that we could do bigger and better things, and we've got 5-6 games left. Our magic number is 3. Big shout out to Owen Barnett for being a big part of our online campaign.
Appreciate
shooting us
you.
that news late at night when we were all asleep. Right on, Owen. But that being said, I think we got the Division 1. We got 1 game left with the Tigers and 4 with the Angels. The only way we lose this is if the Angels come in and sweep us. So I think we got it. What do you think, man?
Seattle, appreciate the assist with the win over Houston last night. That was very, very much helpful of you. I wish the Angels would have cooperated, but Oakland laid down and they laid an egg towards them. But last night's game was indicative of what this team has come together and done at the last part of the season. They played hot and good and played good baseball. They lost that 3 little game skid just now recently, which cut in their lead. But right now they got the Angels by 2 games. They got the Astros by 2.5 games. And it's, like I said, their magic number is 3. They have to go out there and win 3 games. And the division is theirs. And they could wait and see how but they got to take each game as it comes right now, and everybody's peaking at the right time. Cole Hamill is a beast. He's won his last 6 games since being traded from Philadelphia. That man is money.
We've won 9 starts in a row that he's pitched, so that's a pretty amazing feat. He's 7-1 since he came over from Philly, but I do think that we have a big chance. I think the Angels are going to play us tough, but I think with Beltre, the way he's hitting, the way Prince is hitting, Prince had a huge hit last night. That homer he hit was massive. So all these guys are clicking at the same time, especially the middle of our infield, Elvis Andrus and oh, my God.
You got to say Chu. Chu is batting damn
yeah,
near
who's our
400
second baseman?
right
I'm
now.
about to kill myself here, folks. It's Roughneck Odor. Anyways, him and Elvis Andrus are badass. So look for big things from them.
But the scary part is, what would they would have done if Yu Darvish would have been in that rotation? So I would look out. Like I said, they're peaking at the right time, and bringing that guy back into the rotation, this team would be dangerous with that starting 5 of being Yu Darvish, Cole Hamill, of course,
You got Derek Holland, Nick
like I said, Martinez,
Gallardo,
and Felipe Nortis. Like I said, if he's still there, so like I said, they got a deadly squadron waiting.
I think we can win and get into the playoffs. I don't know what's going to happen once we get there. I do know this. Now that the Astros are in our division, fuck them, man. They needed to stay in the National League. Why do they have to come to our division? Why is there other divisions in baseball that only have 4 teams? No, we have to have 5. That's fucked off. I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense.
Same thing as the Milwaukee Brewers going over to the National League. It is what it is. They saw an interdivision rival and just saw the distance, and I thought it made more sense monetarily. And it's national. I mean, it's baseball. It's the American League Baseball. It's national baseball. But just making that interdivision rival and just making it more close and more economic, it seems like. Economics was put there, putting them in the American League with the Texas Rangers. That's all it is.
I'll tell you one thing. Out there at Globe Life Park, they do have plenty of fans, and it's not like the Cowboys Stadium. They get pretty rowdy out there. It's fun to go. It's fun to watch. I do think that, like I said, we're going to wrap up the division. I think we do it in the next 4 or 5 games. I just, in the back of my mind, I always worry that they're going to somehow give it up like they do and they have in the past. I get afraid. I don't want to get cocky with it, but I do think they have the talent to pull it out.
This team has weathered the storm of 100-degree days in Texas, North Texas, for the summer. Now that fall's here, it's a little bit cooler. It's still got the outdoor stadium, and they're peaking at the right time. And like I said, and knowing that the Angels lay ahead to their destiny, if they're going to go ahead and wrap this up and take the West, it's up to them to what they want to do. They got a little cushion right now, but they can't take their foot off the pedal. They got to keep it pressed down. They got to keep going. They got to persevere. And the same thing awaits, because it's a grind. It's a real grind in the playoffs. And to get to the World Series, you know what you got to do. You got to grind.
Amen. Amen. Well, that is going to be our Rangers segment for the week. We'll be right back at you with our final segment, which is going to be more Cowboys. Just chill and listen to some music, and thanks for tuning in to DFW Sports Nerds. All right, we're back. DFW Sports Nerds. We're here to give you our final segment of the day. Thanks for tuning in so far. We appreciate everybody in the group and everybody out there that's given our Facebook page a like. One thing I would like to mention is if you have any questions whatsoever, comments, dislikes, likes, you can find us on Facebook at DFW Sports Nerds, and you can leave whatever the hell you want to. Tell me what your Iron Maiden favorite song is. Yeah, Iron Maiden's best song. What is it? Tell me. Anyways, getting back to the Cowboys in this segment, we got a big game next week against the Saints. It looks like Drew Brees is going to play. Derek, what do you think we're going to do here, man?
If Drew Brees comes back from that shoulder injury, he's going to rip them to shreds. But the defense, whatever defense is going to be there, they got to do their thing. And Maurice Cabrett is going back home to Bayou Country. I wish he'd step up and play like a first rounder. But he was toast all last week with Julio Jones in the one-on-one matchup with the opposing team's number one receiver. He can't do that. He can't afford to. Marcus Colston or whoever is on the Saints team will torch him easily.
Yeah. One of the things about the Saints that scares me the most is that they are an unpredictable team. They'll go win 2 in a row and then drop 5. With Jimmy Graham, they were a way better team. Without him, I don't see him as formidable. But being that they have their starting quarterback there against Whedon, got to tell you, I think that they have got this one. As you know, we do our picks in this segment, and we'll get to those towards the end. But I personally am really worried. Even without Drew Brees, who's to say McCown can't come in there and kick some ass? That guy's shown brilliance at some points in his career. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. But, either way, we've got a tough game. We need to play we need to practice like he's going to play. We need to really get our defense in order. And our offensive line needs to take a big look at the second half from last week and figure out what the fuck is going on, because we're supposed to be the best offensive line in the NFL. And that's by multiple media outlets. It's ridiculous to think that these guys just got shut out in the second half. Nobody could run. It was horrible. And they lost all confidence in themselves. So we have to look at them getting that back.
Well, hopefully they'll do what need the adjustments this past week with the coaches and seeing what fell short, but just gain upon what was proven a good formula and play off that first half. They get them mix the run in, mix the passes, the intermediate passes in, knowing what Wheaton's capable of and playing within those capabilities. Not pushing him too much more than that, but managing the clock. He did it right. Like I said, he was 22 of 26. Other than the errant pass in that second half, he would manage the ball just fine. But just mixing that in and continuing that throughout the game and wearing them down. And if that offensive line is all what it is, it should wear that Saints defensive line down over the whole course of the game.
I agree. And, we've signed 2 quarterbacks this week. I don't think we'll see anything from those guys this week. I don't think they've learned the offense, and Whedon hasn't proven that he can give it up to Matt Castle. So that being said, we're gonna be seeing a healthy dosage of Whedon unless he gets hurt, and then if that happens, then we're relying on a guy who has not done shit in a very long time. This guy has been mediocre. He's been a backup most of his career. He's older. He's not what I consider to be a playmaking quarterback or top-tier quarterback, but neither is Whedon. So maybe we give both of them a chance going forward. I don't know for sure. But I do tell you, I'm super worried about the Saints this week.
It is what it is. You're going in with a backup. Whedon got to manage the team, and it's his to lose. I don't see Castle coming in competing for the starting quarterback. I don't see Kellen Moore coming in competing for the starting quarterback. It is Wheaton's to lose, and it's his to just manage with what people he has to play with right now to manage this team and play within the confines. Do what's pressed, manage the team, and get the ball handoff, those intermediate pass slants, those quick buttons. Do what needs to be done.
Play action, man. We have to establish play action, which means the offensive line has to play correct. We did great for a half last Sunday, and then we just lost it. So my point is this week, if we're going to win this game, it's going to be defensively. It's going to come down to the final stop, especially if Drew Brees is playing. It's probably going to come down to the last 4 to 2 minutes of the game to see who's going to win it. If our defense performs and if Whedon can find a way to accurately pass to Witten, Terrence Williams, and the rest of our receiving core. I'd love to see something from Street. We know what Cole Beasley can do, but I'd like to see what Street can do. I saw him in the preseason. I thought he looked really good. So that being said, we need to really look at something positive that's going to happen here in 4 or 5 weeks. We get so many guys back from injury, from suspensions. Greg Hardy, who likes to throw his chick on top of AK-47s. We get him back. He's a beast. I think we also have a great chance of getting back Gregory at that point. Randy Gregory is a new player. He's a rookie this year. If you don't know what he can do, then you missed all of preseason and you missed the first 2 games. That dude's a beast. Anyways, we get back some of our pass rushers. I think if we can get pressure on the quarterback, just like in any other league game, if you can pressure the quarterback, you can win the game with your defense alone. We saw the Buccaneers do it in 2004 with Warren Sapp and those guys and winning a title. And their offense sucked. So, we can do it, but it's going to be our defense. It's not going to be our offense.
The defense finally led by injury unplagued Sean Lee. It is what it is. The man's got injured each and every year, but hopefully he stays intact, and so far he has this early into the season. But no one on that defensive line has been shown to be the standout as of yet. That beast, that Charles Haley, that Too Tall Jones, that someone who represented, stopping up the interior of an offensive line, and therefore having to choose to make another way for running backs to come after them. But right now, it's too early in the season to see which in the defensive line, and other than in the other outside linebackers in Martin Marinari's 3-4 defense, who's stepping up to be that big playmaker. And it's going to come. I mean, it's getting into the meat of the season right now, and with the big injuries, someone's going to step up. It's just has not happened yet, and it's just too early in the season to see who's going to be that key person to do something different and to be that it player that follows the rest of the season.
Right on, right on. Well, like we said, the only positivity we have is knowing that we got guys coming back. We'll stick to that hope. This week, Cowboys game, what have you got?
I say it's going to be a close one down in the Superdome, and who steps up? It's going to be, honestly, I'm seeing New Orleans 23, Cowboys 20.
So you're picking the Saints. Is that with Drew Brees or without Drew Brees?
That is with Drew Brees.
That is with Drew Brees. Without him, what do you think?
Totally different game. If it's McNown or whatever his name is, no, it's a whole different
McCown,
game.
yeah.
McCown. If it's McCown, it's a totally different game. I'm saying Cowboys 17 and Saints 10.
Cool, man. I've got our picks right here. My picks for the week, which we always do in our final segment. Last week, I went 2-1. Actually, 3-1 if you include the Cowboys game. This week, I'm picking the Cowboys to win. I think that somehow, some way, we pull out a victory simply because I think that the New Orleans defense sucks and that our team will shine. I've got the Giants over the Bills this week as an upset pick. I've also got the Bengals over the Chiefs and the Falcons over the Texans. Those are my picks this week. Take a look at the schedule, D. Make sure you make them right, because if you don't, you're going to have to take some kind of punishment, dude.
For my picks, I'm picking the Dolphins over the Jets, the Bucks over the Panthers, Colts over the Jaguars. And
You got Dallas losing.
Dallas going down by 3, barring if Drew Brees is playing.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a half-assed pick, but he did pick New Orleans, so fuck him. Anyway, we are DFW Sports Nerds. We love to do this, and we love to be there for you guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching, and we'll catch you next week.